Hi, Aries. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for June of 2021. If you find that communications are rough this month, it wouldn't be too surprising based on what's coming down the pike. But if that happens and you want help about it, you can get a natal and transit reading from us at the link in the YouTube description below. Well, the main news of the month is that Juno is retrograde, Mercury is retrograde. They're opposing each other, and they're both all up in the solar eclipse that's coming. And I think that Julia is going to begin by talking about Mercury. Is that right, hon?
That's right, Jamie. Well, hey there, Aries. So Mercury is the planet that rules communication. And wherever we have Mercury is where we do a lot of thinking that month, which arena of life, which are ruled by the houses. So this month, Mercury starts off retrograde in the sign of Gemini, which correlates with your third house. And this house also is the house of communication as well. So this Mercury retrograde is definitely going to hit you in how you communicate to other people and having to maybe iron out some issues that you're having if you're both walking away from the same conversation with different meanings. The third house, the third house also rules our siblings and our neighbors, people in our local community. So these could be possible areas where these miscommunications show up. And the third house also rules writing. So if you're doing any writing, let's say at school or in your professional life, you might have to go back and review your work. Then Mars, the planet of action and activity, starts the month in the sign of Cancer, which is your fourth house of family and home. So it's been in this house for, at least a month or so. And wherever Mars is where we expend a lot of activity, as well as where we can also run into conflict in our life. So in the fourth house, this could mean that you are getting a little frustrated and feisty with the people you live with, or potentially your family members as well. A good use of this transit is to expend a lot of energy on the home front, maybe do a lot of home improvement projects, for example, so you can channel it elsewhere. But by June 11th, Mars is going to move into the fifth house of games, children, and fun activities for the most part. The fifth house, since it rules your children, can mean that you might run into conflicts if you happen to have any children in your life. And since the fifth house also rules games and Mars is in this house, you could also be very, very competitive right now. Maybe you're not necessarily, maybe you're a little bit of a sore loser too in the games that you play with other people in your life. And then the last planet I want to talk about is Venus, who starts the month also in your third house. And it's just going to be there for the first day or so, meaning that basically for the first day of June, as well as last month, you've been getting along pretty well with the people in your community, maybe even your siblings and cousins too. But by June 2nd, Venus is moving into the fourth house and Mars is in there as well. So that's going to mitigate some of that intense Mars energy a bit, where you also will be finding some pleasure in the home front. Maybe you'll do things to beautify your home. It's kind of like a little bit schizophrenic in the fourth house this month. There'll be things that are going very well in your home life, and at the same time, you might run into some frustrations and conflicts as well.
Yes, indeed. So while we're on the relationship subject, I want to talk about Juno retrograde. So Juno is retrograde in Sagittarius, which is your ninth house. And Juno signifies relationships. And when Juno goes retrograde, we have to engage in some soul searching and some retrospection about our committed relationships, possibly our contractual relationships. For you, this is going to involve a search for meaning, actually. You may be asking yourself, what does this relationship mean? Does it bring meaning to my life? And is it a place where I can grow and expand? You might really be asking those questions because Mercury is over here in its retrograde spot here in the third house, asking a lot of the questions. And then also there is this difficult solar eclipse coming, and that's on the 10th of June. Let me just show it to you. Right here, the sun and the moon together in your third house of communication. This is also the house of immediate environment, as Julia was saying, and the people that are right around you, like housemates, neighbors, siblings, especially if you're young, still live at home, and the house of, just the immediate environment around you. So you might find that you're pretty intellectually stimulated, but also just struggling, to get the words out. And then under the eclipse, this is going to bring a lot more intensity to all of those conversations. And you're going to have to really look at your own shadow and walk your talk. So I think that's the main challenge. And fortunately for all of us, Mercury is going to go direct on June 22nd. So we're going to start to feel some of that Mercury retrograde part, at least, easing as the month goes on. But Juno is going to go on being retrograde until early August. So watch for our video about that on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, in the June 2021 news playlist. So in other moon news, we have a full moon in 3 degrees of Capricorn, and that's happening on June 24. Let's get that on screen. Right here, there's the moon and the sun in opposition while Aries is rising. It has to be at 4 degrees, but it actually is perfect at 3 degrees. And this is the axis of home and career. Now, this is not an eclipse. Thank goodness it's just a full moon. And full moons do tend to bring strong feelings, but at least it's not an eclipse. This one is bringing strong feelings to your career arena. And you might be feeling brittle. That's fairly normal for the moon in Capricorn. You might feel like nobody can fill your needs and that you just should be strong. But fortunately, during this eclipse, Jupiter is helping over here in the sign of Pisces, and Jupiter will probably be providing some form of haven for you so that you can rest and relax and get away from it all and find some blessed solitude that can help you to sort of, release all of those beliefs that you might have about being the hero. Well, that's the stuff that we have for you, Aries. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed making it for you. You can always find your horoscopes on our website, pandoraastrology.com. You can find the news of the month also on our monthly forecast there on our website. And if you want a reading, there's the services page, and you can even find classes on our site as well. Until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.